galactic civil war spreads across the sun. From the heights of Coruscant to fiery Mustafar, to fight the evil empire, for people join the fray. These are the heroes of the Hydian Way.
Welcome to Heroes of the Hydian Way. This is a Star Wars actual play podcast, and we're playing in Edge Studios' Age of Rebellion. This is Act 1, Episode 4 of The Hard Road. And I'm Ben, the GM for this adventure. I use they-them pronouns.
I'm Erica. I personally use she/her pronouns, and I am playing Norin Gremian. They/them, engineer scientist.
I'm Zach. I use they/them pronouns. I'll be playing Shin Shazen. He uses he/him pronouns, and he's an infiltrator interrogator.
I'm Henry. I use she/they pronouns, and I'll be playing Isacel An. She's a she/her pronouns, and she's the ship's pilot and captain.
Destiny Pool is currently 3 light side and 1 dark side. The crew has just come back from effecting repairs on the long-range comm unit, which had a spectacularly blown fuse, among other things, like a crater for the last one. And they have found out a few nefarious things that have gone on. The repair skiff comes back. The oxygen supply is just starting to get close to the turn back amount that Yui calculated. The skiff pulls in fairly gently into its docking apparatus, which it actually has a pair of arms that come down and actually grab onto the sides of the ship. Since it's a retrofitted U-wing, it's where the wings would normally be. It's got these 2 arms that come down from the ceiling, clamp on, and now that it is stable for anyone to walk around, jump on, you name it.
Shin immediately jumps out of the ship. Oh, thank you. Oh, we made it. Oh, Captain, you're a great pilot, Captain.
I take it you don't want to go back for the return trip to actually repair the communications relay.
Wait, you didn't fix it? Oh, no, that's
No.
right. Oh, no.
No, we figured out what the problem was and the supplies that we'll need, and now we're retrieving those supplies to take it back to fix it. Can't fix it if you don't know what's wrong with it, man.
I mean, I suppose that's true.
Don't worry, as Isacel jumps out of the ship. If it helps you feel any better, I have an idea for something for you to do that doesn't involve jumping out of a ship with us. But
Well,
let's get back to the sheep first.
we probably need to look into that Hair T site, too. That was an interesting lead.
What about it? What is it?
I mean, the only person who arrived, and, I mean, after that thing started going wrong.
Hair Eastai is a person.
That's what I gathered.
I don't know. I vaguely heard something about that.
I mean, I suppose there could be a droid with a name, but, I don't know. They seemed sentient and organic, based on conversation.
Well, if they're the last person to arrive before sabotage started happening, then yeah, that sounds like a very good lead.
Shen, how good are you at questioning people and getting information out of them?
Oh, Captain. I think I can find information from just about anybody if I ask nicely.
I love hearing that, because I have an idea. Looking around, can I do a perception check to make sure we're not actually being watched around here?
Are you back at the ship, or still on the way to the ship?
On the way to this ship, just making sure we're not being followed.
All right. In that case, I'm going to go with 2 purple, 1 setback. On account of there's a lot of darkish corners.
Alrighty. And I'm doing that with 2 yellows. Punch, punch. Let's go. Oh no. I had 2 failures and 2 threats. Oh no.
And I said the word sabotage out loud.
And I said a name out loud.
Well, there wasn't a despair on the roll. Not that there could be, but there's no despair on the roll. So I'm not going to go full murder mystery on this. But, okay, I'm wanting to bank the threat, but you also have you aren't able to find anyone following you. You keep on having that feeling that, is there someone there? You're never quite sure that there isn't someone following you.
I just assume someone's always following me, but that doesn't really bother me.
That's called paranoia.
Yeah, that's what they tell me. So I don't usually pay it much mind.
I mean, he's not wrong. But as we're walking back, Shen, how would you like to go find this person while me and Norin go get the fuses and take care of this?
On so many levels, nothing would please me more.
We're gonna jump out of a spaceship with no one in the spaceship alone?
Oh no, this time I'll actually park the ship. That was for fun.
Wait, you mean you could have parked the entire time?
Oh yeah, I could have just brought it to the moon surface, climbed out, taken care of things, but that's not as much fun.
There's a lot of different emotions cycling through Norin's face right now. From disbelief, outrage, and then like self-disgust, and then resignation and acceptance.
Shin pats Norin on the shoulder. I'll buy you a drink later.
Okay.
So, Shen, you take care of finding this hair person, and Norin, let's go, and I promise I will try my best to not traumatize you this time.
Wait, did you say you won't try your best?
Galactic Basic Common is not my first language.
I assume Norin was walking like sort of in the back of the pack anyway. So they're just gonna like let you two go on ahead of them a little bit, where it's just like, I'm nervous, not fragile.
You get back to the ship. The cargo pod is wide open. Pallets are being brought out. A couple people with their motorized pallet jacks scoop in, and like you're standing on them instead of it being moving by hand. You can also see what looks to be part of a very large mining laser being lifted overhead by your loader droid, L815, as they're thumping with it overhead and setting it down very gently. Like, you don't even hear it settling onto the ground that gently. And then the big binary load lifter waves at the three of you as you go onto the ship.
Isisal waves. She's not rude.
Yeah, Shin waves back. It's like a half salute.
And we're gonna find our way to Hookman and get a bunch of those fuses into our backpack.
Shin leaves to put on his turtleneck. His black tactical turtleneck. It doesn't look weird at all. It looks perfectly fine.
I can't find the sheet that details all of our droids, but I think a couple of the little pit droids should come with us. So Norin waves to the loadmaster, goes find a couple of the little guys, just the little guys.
Yeah, M1, M2, or the M's.
The M&Ms.
M&M's, yeah.
And they've each got colored tops. You've got a red one, a
Nice.
yellow one, a green one, a brown one. Each one with their number on it. Hookman comes up to the three of you and has a small satchel which opens it up to show that there's two of the fuses in it, closes it, hands it over, and hands over a electrical toolkit on the off chance that it's needed.
You know what? Let me take a
Right.
second to look at Norin's equipment, because I'm pretty sure Norin has a lot of stuff.
I have no doubts on that. Oh,
And I have a general toolkit.
I'll take an electrical toolkit. I'm not going to say no.
I'm not going to say no either. I'm just checking my own stuff.
Hookman's trying to be mildly conscientious. So, got the fuses you asked for, and, well, found this in the engine room. Thought that since you all are out there, has a few 0G rated tools and a few other electrical things and doodads.
Thanks, man. Is the fuses really all that we need? Is there no other parts that maybe I took note of needing?
Yeah, I'll go with that. There's a few boards that you're needing, which are also in the satchel. Like, I'm assuming that a bit of communication on the way back. It's like, Hookman, get this stuff together. So
Yeah, Norin had made a careful list of everything that we need, tools and parts-wise, and boop, sent it off.
Resistor is the size of your fist, like just huge equipment.
yes.
And they just sling the satchel over their shoulder.
Shin comes walking back in, adjusting the turtleneck and his backpack on. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's been a while.
I don't want to know. Walks away.
On that note, I look over to Hookman. Hookman, do me a favor. Can you keep your eye open for any of the mining crew that gets close to this ship or anything like that? Just keep an eye open.
Yar.
I like you, Hookman. You're a good man. Then I leave. Pass it by Shen. If I don't ask, I'm not responsible.
That's true. That's very true. Leave it to me, Captain.
And now, the fun part. Split the party.
Woo!
Yay!
Now we got.
More.
Now we're in 3 ways.
Exactly. First, I'm going to go with the two of you heading back out. Just on account of that way it gives a little bit of time for Shen to start investigating off camera.
Kind of sitting there awkwardly, pilot, co-pilot seats. I think this is the first time they've ever been on their own. So, you've been piloting long?
Quite a while, actually. A good few years now.
What's the age-wise comparison between these two? Norin's in their mid-20s.
Actually, so is Isasel. She's been flying for the last 5 years, just about. Maybe a little longer. So yeah, they're about the same age. Isasel's ever since I left Canary, all I've done is, pilot and try to have adventures,
Canary. You're from Canary?
Yes, that's where I was born until, made my way off planet and decided to go out on an adventure.
Yeah, that tracks.
I'm gonna take that positively.
I mean, I didn't mean it negatively.
Isasel just smiles as she's starts flicking this chip to power and just getting ready to take off.
I'm figuring that since it's retracing flight paths,
Without showboating this time.
there is that. But beyond that, I'm figuring that, yeah, there's nothing getting in the way of the two of you getting back to the comm relays.
Suddenly pirates.
On the other hand, in the back, the two pit droids that have come along have decided to start dueling. They've picked up 2 screwdrivers and are show fighting in the back. On the other hand, they're tiny. They actually have a tiny bit of real amount of soak, so they're not doing any damage to each other, but they are definitely it's in space, so you don't get a huge amount of the ting 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 of the screwdrivers going off of the domes, but you do get a little bit.
You two are lucky. I promise not to showboat.
They'll turn and beep a sorry at you, and then do the jumping down into the contracted version.
Much safer. And when we get that at relay, this time Isasel's gonna gently, park the ship on the moon surface.
Oh, yeah, no. Norin's making sure of it. If you hadn't gone to park the ship, Norin would have parked the ship.
You need to put down on just outside of the shield ring, but that's very easy to step over. It's not like it creates any sort of weird terrain things. just a limitation of where, if the shield were working, how far it would go.
And we go traipsing across a moon in the void of space. With nothing between us and certain death but a few inches of flimsy plastic. Fabric. Whatever this is made out of.
He says, don't panic. It's more like a few centimeters of fabric, but you know what? It's not that bad.
And like what? A transparent steel visor?
Look, if anything goes wrong, I will save you.
My hero. Norn just walks past you to the comms, shrugging the satchel over their shoulder. We are going to replace some parts. You want to check from us for that, DM?
You know, I will go with... Well, it's because you asked. Yes, I want to get a 1 red check.
1 red.
But you do get a boost from the little Petroids.
Yes, very good. Hey, would you say this counts as constructing new items or modifying attachments?
Not really, no. Because this is more fixing a item that's already there.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't either. I'm just being, that kind of player that's just kind of like, hey, can I do this thing that I know doesn't actually apply? But maybe you'll let me.
See, that's the thing, is that I generally try and figure out a way of saying yes, but this one I'm not able to square that.
Right. Yellow, yellow, green. Boost from the pit droids.
Boost from Isasel helping, because she also has mechanics.
Boost from Isasel helping. So obviously Inventor doesn't apply here, but does Speaks Binary apply here?
I go with yes.
Cool. Because this is a group check, sort of. So I can have another boost die. So 3 boost die. Ha, ha, ha.
Why don't you use one of those destiny points and just roll up all yellows?
I mean, there are 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Sure.
I'll press the button for the destiny points, and you just...
That was a lot closer than you would think.
It's a threat. That's a threat. It just takes out one of the advantages. I succeeded with 6 advantages.
So much.
I have an idea for those advantages if you want to throw a few of them my way.
Yes, please, go ahead.
How many of those advantages would it cost for the messages they've been trying to send out this whole time if they just they were backed up and
Or
like,
receive.
when you're doing when your printer isn't connected and then you connect it and all of a sudden all of them start just heading out all at once, like all the jobs are going. Would that happen right now for messages coming in and messages coming out?
I love that. I think that should be 2 advantages. That definitely would be a 2 advantage kind of thing.
It's like those old cartoons when someone's yelling on the phone, so they pinch the wire and it's like a hose and it stops, and they let the line go and it's yelling again. That's all I can think of.
Just if we see that going happen, just Isasel nothing on the radio, just like it's like, we probably should have warned them, but this is far more entertaining.
That is the best gift ever. War
All right, so that was 2 advantages. I want at least 1 advantage put towards. I kind of want that data. I want that data. Can I have a copy of that? Of those incoming messages?
Yes, I would figure that would be 2 advantage.
That leaves us with 2 more.
I have an idea for the 2 more.
Do you have an idea?
I have an idea.
Go for it.
So with the 2 more, we know that there was some sort of like sabotage, or at least we're pretty sure those 2 of those advantages, while fixing and making sure everything we were able to fix is fixed, going through the data, we find something to give us a better point on who could have sabotaged this. Like an out of place spanner wrench with, like a company name, or like
the toolbox stamp they would have probably used.
Yeah, toolbox stamp, something like that.
Because I know all of our tools were etched with the toolbox they came from and the department that owned them.
I mean, Tajco would probably be that sillily organized. Any company that is large enough to do, like, strip mining on entire planets, as well as run their own McDonald's analog, which is what Biscuit Baron is.
There was a
Yeah.
spanner wrench, and it has a barcode on it.
Yes. The truly odd part is that there's a logo for location. It's fairly low quality because, well, mines like this have inspiring logos or anything like that, but it's enough that you can actually figure out what the facility is supposed to be, and it is not for this facility. It is not from this moon.
Ooh.
All right.
You should forward that information to Shen.
Oh, I will. But first, I would actually like to use Inventor now,
Okay.
and I would like to lock the communications relay to where if someone doesn't input the correct code, they're going to get shocked badly.
Oh, okay. I know.
Do
I
unto
understand what
others
you
as they have already done to you.
I'm putting my own booby trap on it. I mean, like, if you don't get the code from me, you get shocked.
That really is just an average with, I'm going to go with 2 setback on account of, one, you're in space and trying to do this, and the other one is from the just slight trickiness of not getting caught in your own trap. Sorry, I like explaining my setback.
I appreciate explanations. I get to remove one of those setbacks because I have 1 rank of Inventor. Alright. So mechanics check again.
Yes.
Cool.
And can Isasel give a boost dice to help them and just like, hey, like, you know, I used to play 2 booby traps in the past. I got yelled at a lot.
Alright. Yellow,
Sure.
green. Boost from you. 1 setback that I didn't get rid of. And what was the difficulty? 2 purple?
2 purple. Yes.
Alright. Yellow, yellow, green, blue, black, purple, purple. Boop. 2 successes and a threat.
Even though the purples don't show up, the setback did. Ha 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 ha. So I'm actually going with you. Actually do slightly get zapped by your own trap and take 1 strain.
Well, we know it works.
Now, yeah, next time, if someone knows it's there, they have a not exactly nice time to disarm it.
I turn to Azazel and I'm like, now our work at least won't be very easily reversed.
Norin, this is why you're the first mate.
Did Nora know they were the first mate before this point?
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what to call you. We went first officer and then first mate, and Isasel's just been calling you the first mate this whole time now.
As the trap is in place and the repair is done and data is streaming across your data pad, and I do mean streaming, there's like a dozen messages coming in, and there's let's see, 6 weeks, so yeah, there's a half dozen going out.
Only half dozen.
There's a half dozen normal ones and a bunch of other messages in there, but you can see the like regular reports and other ones, including the few that are flagged important and all that sort of fun stuff. But just sort of thinking, describe Norn's face as all this stuff is trying to scroll across their datapad.
Unbothered, because they want it to be scrolling across their datapad for them to peruse and process later.
So then, as the dissolve happens, describe Shen's face as they're starting to look around for our good friend Hare.
They have an uncontrollable grin. It is toothy, it is wide. They are extremely pleased to be back in their element. That felt like being the medic, for all intents and purposes, was a little more boring than they thought it was going to be. And it's nice to be back in one's element.
You know that Foreman Tisit is out on the mining floor working their particular mining squad? Yeah, we'll go with squad. They're human. This entire mining area is actually has a transparent steel dome over top of it, so it's entirely aired up.
Okay.
It does seem a little thin for air, though you can also feel the air circulation from several vents around. And as you pass by those, at least the last one that you've passed by has been smelling a lot cleaner. Like maybe they just got filters.
Okay. I'm assuming since this is like a moon, like a mining colony thing, it's not really residential. But would they have like a bunk area or some sort of?
Yeah, there's essentially a camp there. Like, yeah, there's bunks, there's a galley, there's a couple common rooms for people to be in. One that has a hollow projector. Another one has a few, like, Dejaric tables and whatnot.
And if I'm not mistaken, you all did calm Shin to let him know about the spanner, correct?
Yes.
I think before he makes his way directly to Hare, he wants to see if he can find where Hare is staying, and maybe look for a toolbox or a toolkit that may be not amongst the rest of the gear.
All right.
Since it's something that was marked from another location, Shin doubts that it would be in the work area with the regular tools, and they would likely keep it somewhere close because who's going to look for it? No one has any reason to suspect them, technically, at least as far as Bromoth is concerned. And if there's a lot of people in there, he might avoid it. So if it's something that you didn't want to do or you weren't planning,
well, okay. What I'm figuring is that there is going to be a shift worth of people in the galley/common areas.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dual bunk, but there's 3 people assigned to the room.
Like a hot rack situation?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. So there's almost certainly someone already in the bunk. Okay.
There is one person sleeping in a bunk in there. They're in the top. They've got the little privacy curtain drawn, which appears that the track only goes halfway down the bed. It doesn't even cover the entire bed.
Yeah.
And you can see the fuzziness of a whippet sleeping up there.
Okay. Let me see. I think Shin is, going to do the look both directions, take a look around, lean against the wall next to the door, and then try to sneak in and not disturb the sleeping person, the whippet.
In that case, okay, it's going to be a 1 purple, 2 setback stealth roll.
Okay. Should be too big of a deal. Come on, D1. We're friends. 3 advantage and a triumph. No successes.
That is amazing. So you actually do wake the whippet.
Hello, friend. I was told that I could crash in here. We just dropped off a bunch of supplies, and they said that one of the racks was open in this room.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. I like the top one up here, so if you're going to use one, use the bottom one.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely no problem. Thank you. And I do not snore, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Just be glad that this seems to be the only pair around here who don't seem to have trouble with dander.
I don't know what to do with the triumph, though. I don't know. Could I see like a locker with Hare's name on it or something that I could attempt to get into?
That makes absolute sense. Like, all 3 lockers would have names on them.
All right. Is it locked? It's probably locked, right?
Yes, okay. It is locked.
Let me see what my skullduggery is. Yeah, can I attempt to get into that?
I'm kind of going on my theme tonight of not going too hard for a check. So it's just going to be 2 purple and 1 setback.
Okay. Alright, D1. I'll get you coffee or something. Yay! Oh, 4 success and 3 threat.
I'm going to go with you mangled the lock, so it cannot lock.
Okay, yeah. Ooh, got it. That's not closing again. I'm just gonna dig through there. What do I find? Do I find a tool bag or any sort of anything that could lead to us believing that they were responsible for any of this? Maybe like a jacket with like a logo from that matches or something, or
Okay, I'm going to go with you do find a jacket with a logo. It doesn't match.
okay.
Like, all of his stuff is Biscuit Baron logoed. Like,
Okay.
the guy just transferred in from a different division of Tajco. He used to be going around fixing, like, the ice cream machines at Biscuit Baron,
Okay.
and just got fed up with it and decided to start fixing things in the mining division.
Okay. Shin isn't deterred, but he does frown a little and attempts to put the jacket back in the way he saw it and closes the lid to the locker and hopes that it's enough to that maybe they'll assume somebody else got into the wrong locker. And I'm going to go try to find hair, or at least you said there was I could see through the work floor below in one area, correct?
Yeah, in the control ring,
Mm-hmm.
like the admin had a control room.
Okay.
And also, they've got people who are directing the different mining squads.
I'd like to go up there and wait until I can see hair going off on their own somewhere. Maybe into like one of the like the office that might not have a, because I know some work floors will have like temp walls set up, but no roof, no ceiling on it.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and they have like workstations or anywhere that he might go on his own that I would be able to confront him privately.
Okay, yeah, I can go with that. I'm assuming, because there's the glass that you can see through down onto the mining floor, and then just there's sort of a walkway or enough of floor to become a walkway, and then there's the mine overwatch
Okay.
desks that are there that have the different holo displays and where people are supposed to be going. Can I get a 1 red vigilance check from you?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
Make sure that he is going at the proper time.
I'm going to use a light side point.
Fair.
1 red, you said?
Yes, 1 red.
Okay. Oh, yes! A single success.
All right, so you're able to overhear from the controller. You hear, "Here, yeah, take those mining lasers and return them back to the shop. There should be a set of new ones making their way. They just got passed through our intake tests, and they should be good for your peeps. Can you get them out there? That'll make your job go at least 10% faster."
Bingo.
Right, okay. Yeah, you now know exactly where he's going to be.
I head that direction and see if I can. I just want to make sure. I want to be there. I don't know if I can be there waiting for him or if I kind of show up around the same time.
Yeah, I'll go with you could get there by about the same time. Because you still got to collect up all the mining lasers and then hoof them over.
Cool. Yeah, once I see him arrive, I will follow him where he is going with the lasers. Do I need to make any check, or would he just not assume anything if someone was walking in with him?
I'm going to go with he's not really assuming anything.
Okay.
Okay, I'm assuming he's too distracted by carrying this armful of mining lasers and having to be at least a little bit fast on trying to get from the mining face to the tool shed and back.
Hair test site?
Turns around,
I knew it was you. Hey, heard you're the new guy.
Yeah, I am.
Hey, where are you coming in from? We don't get too many new faces around here. Where'd you ship in from?
Wait, who are you?
Oh, I'm just the medic.
The medic?
Yeah, since you're new, I have to do like the preliminary screenings and make sure that I haven't got you in the system yet. So, figured I'd heard you were coming down this way and figured I'd come say hey.
Ka-thump, all the mining lasers go onto the parts shelf. But I thought that intake exam 9 weeks ago was the one that was supposed to happen. You mean there's another one?
Well, this is like the post exam questionnaire. It's like an interview just to make sure you're adjusting to life on the moon. Can I make a charm or would it be probably deception, right?
This is more feeling like deception.
Okay. Difficulty of any charm, coercion. I have nobody's fool. So the difficulty of any charm, coercion, and deception check attempted against the character. Oh, I guess no one's.
That's
never mind.
to you.
Womp,
As opposed
womp.
to you going to them.
Okay.
That is against. I am going to use one of my destiny points to make this into a 1 red, 1 purple deception check.
Okay. Whoa. Success, an advantage, a triumph, and
Oh,
a
wow.
despair.
Yes, a hero special.
Oh no.
Where it
I mean-
chooses one of everything.
Right?
But at least it's a successful one of everything. Alright.
It's that big ugly despair just staring me in the eyes.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Sure.
Oh, it shouldn't take very long at all. It's just a couple of questions.
Well,
I also
sure.
kind of wanted to get to know you a little bit since, we'll be seeing a lot of each other. Likely. I mean, a lot of injuries here. We work pretty hard. So,
Yes.
where are you coming from?
Oh, I'm in from Coruscant. They had me going around on a bunch of the lower level biscuit barons. I was doing the soft serve machines and just...
Really? Are you the one that makes those work? Because they never seem to work anywhere I go. You must be pretty talented then.
Most of the time it's just people not maintaining them well, but the things that you see, because they've never cleaned them. And that's the problem.
That makes a lot of sense.
And especially with some of the additives that Biscuit Baron uses, if you leave it too long, they become a little sentient,
What?
or at least
Really?
approaching sentient.
Whoa.
And then they start trying to eat things, and then there's flamethrowers involved. It's an entire thing.
I'll follow up on that one later.
Keep a lot of blue sauce. Otherwise, just bad things happen.
Noted. Absolutely noted. Oh, yes. Do you have any known allergies?
Well, blue sauce, but that's about it.
So you have to be extra careful when dealing with the saucer machine. I see.
Yes. That's the reason why I wanted to transfer over to something else. And this was the first one that came up.
Coming from the Biscuit Baron, do you use a lot of the same tools that you use here? Is this something that you all have in common?
Not really. I was hoping that I would get into the repair side, but they didn't need anyone repair side. But I also know how to work well with people, so I'm out here directing these people. My shift is actually in the top 3 of the moon.
Oh, no kidding. That's impressive.
Give us these new lasers, and we've got a good chance to push in for number 1. We get all the flavor additive.
Have you done any work on the surface of the moon at all? You've been out the airlock? You need to make sure nothing's you have enough oxygenation in your blood and nothing has gone wrong.
I tried for those ratings, but I just couldn't. it's the really, really, really enclosed spaces of a suit that just get to me, and I start having panic attacks.
Oh, so
So-
you've never been on the surface?
No,
Can I do a check to see if he's lying to me?
I would go with sure.
If I were to get real close and kind of put my arm on the shelf, like in front of where he may be walking away from, can I say, I need you to think really hard about that. Have you been anywhere on the surface? And maybe make it a coercion check, perchance?
I could probably see that. Sure.
Cool. Much better at coercion than...
Well, I see we're a coercion group.
We are.
I mean, when you're walking around with a bad cop, sure. It is just going to be 2 purple, 1 setback. Coercion check.
Oh, cool. A success.
Okay, so the question...
Think really hard about that, because, I mean, who knows? Maybe you, some of the suits have had contamination, and you wouldn't want to be contaminated, would you?
Oh, no, I have not been up on the surface. The closest I get is the docking bays, and that's only to look at the droid ship, because it looks really cool. All the droids flitting around. It's kind of hypnotic. But beyond that, no.
Being the foreman, you do a lot of the tool checks, correct?
Yes, I do.
You noticed any unusual, maybe out of place tool sets?
I have heard rumors of a set of non-standard tools on one of the night shifts. There was something about a double set.
Cool. Well, can I get the name of the supervisor for the night shift, and I'll leave you alone after that?
Oh, sure. It is a...
It's a whippet. It's the guy that's already sleeping.
Sadly, no. It's a crusty old Duros named Lensum Judd.
Winsome Judd. All right. Well, you seem to be okay, and thanks for answering the questions, and nice to have you aboard. He pats him on the shoulder and just walks out of the room. And he calms back to the ship. Captain, dead end. May have a lead, but doesn't seem that that hare is who we're looking for.
Calming back, you see your ears yourself. Any set of clues is what we need, so let's meet back up in the office and see what the admins run into. And then we'll move from there.
Aye, Captain.
Good job, Shed.
Query. May I retroactively spend a destiny point?
Sure.
I would like to place a camera on the comms.
Oh, so that there's a recorder on the comm relay? Yeah, totally.
Thank you.
I can't believe I'm not going to lie. I thought that was going to help my coercion check a little more, and I can't believe I succeeded that. That was closer than I thought it was going to be.
That was a closer check than I thought. Also, we never really got the Triumph and Despair dealt with.
That is true.
I will sit and watch what you two decide. I am interested.
And with these, I generally find it better to do the player side first on account of that way I'm not stepping on toes.
Right. Maybe, since it's a hot rack situation, maybe the second person who wasn't in the room possibly was out, on leisure time. Could I have found an access code to like a card or something, set of credentials that may get me into back rooms or
Okay, yeah, I can go with that.
or restricted areas? Cool.
I mean, they are foremen. I can get behind that, sure.
Cool. I'll note that right now.
I know what the Despair is, but I want it to come up a bit more naturally within the narrative.
Sure. Absolutely.
I'm figuring by about this time, the two of you who were out repairing the comms, it's fixed. It's got the holo recorder on it. You can even access the cam remotely.
Nice.
I mean, it is on the comm lines. It makes sense you'd be able to access it remotely, at least as long as you're on the company network.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I figured at this point, y'all would be coming in to the auxiliary docking bay. The two claws are coming down, hooking the ship back into a very firm dock.
All right. As we're landing, ESSL just like looks over at Norman's like, okay, we should head over to the office, but you two looks at the two droids who are, I'm hopefully pretending that they were good the entire time on our way back, but we're probably still playing around.
I mean, after getting caught dueling, yeah, they have been absolute perfect. I wouldn't exactly say angels, but yeah, they have been absolutely helping out exactly as they're supposed to. Like, they've been looking and watching the stars and the sights as you've flown back, but they haven't done anything.
I look at Norman, let's have them take back the satchel, the hookman, and I look over. You two can go take a break and go play now. Once you deliver the bag back.
One of them salutes and one of them attempts to lift the bag.
You'll need to work together.
And then the second one helps, and yeah, they grab this guy's shoulder strap. They both grab one side of the shoulder strap and are finally able to lift it and start moving off.
They're running like a dog sled dragging behind them.
Almost, yeah.
Oh yeah, Shin has his Hawaiian shirt back on over his turtleneck, by the way. He's been back to the ship already.
Why do I just think Magnum PI?
Yeah, I know. I'm pulling from various different characters to make Shin.
Fair enough.
It's more like Chip from Chip and Dale, but
You cannot tell me that Chip was not patterned.
he was Magnum PI for sure, but he was way goofier.
Yeah, sure.
We'll probably meet you in the ship, actually, because we got to get out of these spacesuits. He says, I love how they look, but honestly, we need to get out of these and keep them in a safe place.
You love how they look?
They're as fitted as they absolutely need to be, but generally they're there to be easy to work in.
I mean, they are brand new and a little flashy. The colors are nice.
Mm-hmm.
Also, once we get back to the ship, using all that information coming in, I have an idea to check on something. Would probably not tell admin yet.
Okay.
Let's go talk in the ship. Yeah, I know we're going back to the ship today. I let the droids take the bag anyway. We're not carrying that.
Yeah. Do we pass them on the way? Also, Shin has a little bit of a spring to his step. He's a little happier. He seems. He just. Norin, how was the trip? And he tosses an elbow.
We're good. We're inside the ship.
Yeah.
I booby-trapped it, and I set out a remote camera, and I show Shen the live feed on my datapad, and I'm like, anyone who tries to mess with the comms relay now is going to get a nasty surprise, and we're going to know who it is.
I cannot tell you how impressed I am. I wasn't expecting to work with such a professional crew. This is amazing. You've brought so much more faith into my... You've given me such a great feeling about how this is going to turn out. I didn't expect that. You're awesome.
Oh, I have a way to kill that faith. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I know, Captain.
Because
Norin,
ESSL
beams?
as she's taking off her spacesuit, since she wears less clothing under at that time. This is where you see she has scars all over her body as she's getting redressed.
Captain, what do you say happened to your previous crews?
Oh no, my previous crews are okay. I actually have been crewless for a few years now. I've been one of those lone flyers for a bit.
But your other crew, they're not all mysteriously dead or blown up or anything?
Oh no, they're stuck on an Imperial contract that they can't get out of. Might have been because of me, but I don't want to talk about it right now.
No, yep, absolutely not. That's all I need to know.
She points at the scars. These came after.
Oh, good. Good to know. I was worried.
Yeah, crashing ships, not great for the body.
Now I'm more worried again.
Look, you'll learn by doing. This is what we do. I was going to ask, since we're on the ship and it has our astrogation data and everything, I want to ask, can I make an astrogation check to see the problem points from, let me look at the name of the place they come from.
Randor?
Yeah, Randor to Naboo. If Isacel has been flying these like routes for a good few years now, if she can use her astrogation to spot the points where they would have to be getting out of in and out of hyperspace, and spots they can get grabbed. Especially because we have all this comm data rolling in from Nora's thing, we might be try to use that to try to pinpoint where the problems can arise. Because at least the one Mayday or stop tracking would have been backed up in there.
Right, because they can't turn in hyperspace. They'd have to stop and course correct before they jumped again.
Or would they?
Well, that's true. Unless it's a straight shot, that's true.
Or you're dealing with a tractor beam.
That too.
Can a tractor beam pull a ship out of hyperspace?
If it's got a
not the tractor beams. I think the specific things that the tools that the Empire had. I know that's the Empire.
Yeah, they were the
Interdictors.
interdictor. Thank you. Yeah, the big gravity well generators. They were the Star Destroyers with the bubbles.
Oh.
Yeah. Would it be possible to make that check?
Yes. It absolutely would.
Either of you good with astrogation as well, or is it just me?
Can.
I can make some calculations if necessary, but I don't really do that.
You can get us some calf. How about that?
Sure. Shin walks out.
Alright, so... Wait, real quick. What's Norn's intelligence?
3.
Oh, cool. Okay, I have 2 ranks in astrogation, so I'm going to use your intellect in that group check.
Nice.
And what difficulty would you say it would be?
It's fairly recent data. I am thinking... Now, this one actually does feel like it should be a hard check, and I'm going to use one of those Destiny points, since I have a boatload, to make it 1 red and 2 purple.
Let's party. You know, we had 1 Destiny point that was sitting there earlier. I'm going to use that one. We're going to have 3 yellows versus a red and 2 purples. Let's go.
Woo!
We got 2 successes and 2 threats.
There's a lot of places they could have jumped from, turned.
I mean, there's 2 successes. So, most of their travel is on the Trellis Trade Run, which travels along a lot of the outer, from Tatooine through to Eriadu, and beyond in some cases. They do have to make a couple turns, drop out, actually turn, but you do know that there's also a couple planets, and especially most of the entire system of Zhar, Z-H-A-R, that is a planetary system that is normally people will be not even dropping out of hyperspace, but there's a lot of radioactivity there, which if things go wrong for calculations and you're not skirting the system, you're going through most of the system, that can also cause weirdness with hyperdrives.
Interesting.
And it was the Organa crews that we're having issue with. Radiation can be kind of bad for Organa crews. And not in the same way that it is for droids. Keeping note of that, you know what? She's tapping onto Norton's data pad and leaving these notes.
Rude.
Shin walks back in with 3 cups of coffee. No sugar, no creamer, calf. Just 3 cups of calf, straight. Captain, Norin, here you are.
Thank you, Shan. We might have a lead for once we're done with this mining system.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. How would you feel about adventuring around a radioactive planetary system?
Why do you do this to us, Captain? Every time...
That sounds like a terrible idea.
I have to agree with Norin.
I will go check out the spacesuits and double check. Well, their radiation shielding should be pretty high.
Those are the...
Norrin just starts mumbling to themselves.
But by the way, I found out when I was talking with Hare that apparently the night shift has they spotted a double set of tools, a set that might not necessarily belong on this moon. So I found this card that may allow us access to places where we could find things. Now that I think about it, there's a ventilation area I may want to look at as well. Should have looked there before I left.
Don't be too hard on yourself. You did a good job. There's a lot of good info. So we'll rest for a second, get together, and then we'll go check out this night crew. And who had the spanner, Norrin or Isasel? I think Norrin had it, right?
I described what it was, but it was your check, I believe.
Oh, that Isasel pulls out the spanner, goes, and then we can find out who's missing the tool. Because one of them is going to have a missing tool in their chest. And then she gently blows on her calf because it's too hot and she has very sensitive lips.
Oh, sorry, it was fresh, so, yeah. Warm.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Heroes of the Hydian Way. You can find show updates on social media as The Hydian Way, and you can find me, Ben, on the socials as Deuterium Ice.
You can find me, Erica, on a multitude of FFG-based podcasts and on social media as detailed on my Linktree, Erica Goodwitch.
You can find me, Zach, on the Tales of the Outer Rim podcast, on our Linktree Tales of the Outer Rim, and GMing for a season of Tales from the Grey Library.
And you can find me, Henry, everywhere as Sim Disorder with one Y and one I in that order.
And we are all at thehydianway.com, where you can find previous episodes. And you can find more episodes at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Plus, you can help us out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing.
You can holocom us at heroes@thehydianway.com.
If you like what we do and want to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/thehydianway.
Or you can send the team some calf at kofi.com/thehydianway.
Okay, so 10 XP on the session, plus the experience going between all y'all. So, who are you giving your 5 XP to?
I'm going to give mine to Norrin for
thanks.
For the cam. The cam was a great idea, and I just liked the dialogue back and forth. It was very fun and made it feel the characters feel more alive.
Yeah, Norrin barely has a filter.
And we love it.
Yes, we do.
And you know what? I'm going to give my 5 to Shen, just because of, like, I love the idea of just, like, turtleneck and a Hawaiian shirt, and it's just, like, Shen's my favorite little spy now.
And I'm giving my 5 to Shen, because Shen called Norrin awesome.
Oh.
And they like to feel appreciated.
Well, thanks, everybody. I didn't expect that. I felt like I was doing very Rocky for a little bit there.
You were doing good. I was traumatizing the crew.
This is true, but it was great.
I mean, I want Isasel to have that 5 XP too, though, because let's be real. Isasel was pretty great in this episode. Like the jumping off the ship.
Yeah, I mean,
when she could have parked it the whole time.
I have no qualms if you want to give 5 XP to Isasel.
Oh no, for letting me be a Chaos Goblin, you can have that 5 XP. For having to deal with me.
All right. As you wish, Captain.
Awesome.
Beep,
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
That was way closer than it should have been.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I mean, the boost at least showed up a bit with advantage. Just saying.
It's true.
Yeah. Why is everything quiet?
I don't know.
I actually wasn't entirely certain of that myself.
Oh yeah.
I think we were waiting for the roll.
Coercion check. Sorry.
Yes, the coercion check, which is...
I got distracted because I heard my kid yell outside my office.
yeah, I mean, that would be distracting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to use my talent, Intimidating. May suffer a number of strain to downgrade difficulty of coercion checks, or upgrade difficulty when targeted by an equal number. Strain suffered this way cannot exceed ranks in Intimidating, so I will suffer a strain.
I don't think that there was any red, so...
But won't that remove one by reducing the difficulty? If there's no red?
If it's downgrading. Downgrading, it drops reds to purples, but it doesn't get rid of purples.
Really? I've been
'Cause
playing
that's
this wrong.
decreasing. Yeah.
Okay. Because I know if you upgrade and you have no greens to upgrade, you add a green. I just didn't know if it worked the same way backwards.
Nah, it's one of those things of it's specifically decreasing difficulty that drops the purples.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Well, that changes things, but let's see.
I had an entire build get completely nuked because of that.